All right, so welcome back. And today I'm going to discuss with you an important chapter as far as the marketing is concerned, and especially it is important with reference to the marketing approach, the market approach to marketing, which says that you first need to find out the needs and wants of the customer and then try to satisfy them accordingly. So, market research, then, what is market research? Market research is the process of trying to collect data, collate data, understand data, analyze data about customer reactions. How will the customer react to a certain price level of the product? How will the customer react to a certain form of promotion of the product? How will the customer react to certain type of packaging? And what kind of distribution should be carried out to create maximum convenience for the customer? Now, please do keep in mind that research is always uh, a costly and time consuming process. However, it's still carried out, and a lot of money is allocated towards market research. So, what are the reasons for market research? Why do companies need market research? They need market research first and foremost to investigate what kind of demand will exist for the product when and if it's produced. And if it is already there, then what kind of demand will be in the market in the future. So that way, the risk associated, especially with the NPD, especially with the new products which are launched, is reduced. So, um, some reduction in risk. That is the first thing. Secondly, specifically, demand trends are studied. Okay, um, what kind of changes are going to come in the or what kind of changes, social, economic, political, what kind of changes are coming in the country or in your market, in your target market, which are going to affect the demand. So if you can produce the product in accordance with the demand, then the product will be a success. For the existing product, if sales are going up, why are they going up? If sales are going down, why are they going down? If sales are going down for a particular feature which you are providing, then you can accentuate that feature in your future products. You can give more of that feature. A classic example is cameras and mobiles. So people prefer those mobiles which have better cameras because now they use these cameras for photo shoot and stuff like that. So that is one thing that market research will tell you. It will also tell you about what designs are favored by the customer. It will also tell you what styles are favored, what packages are favored. So that way, in market research, various versions of the product, various designs of the products can be tested on the potential market, and the taste can be determined. What are the strengths of the product, its weaknesses? What are the strengths and weaknesses of the promotion process, of the distribution process? All of these things can be highlighted, and overall, the risk can be reduced. So the analysis of this will be that yes, costs will go up, but overall, the long-term evaluation will be that because of all this information that you have as a result of research, you will be able to produce a product which is acceptable and successful in the market. So now let us look at the an exact market research process. Now, more, why does a lot of market research go wrong? Or why does any research go wrong? The research goes wrong when you don't know, when you haven't identified the problem properly, and you to start doing your research. The, Please remember, the single most important step in the research process is identify the management problem that this research is designed to address. Uh, you have to move in the right direction. If you don't have an idea of the purpose, remember that when we did the chapter on mission, what did we say? We said that the purpose of the business should be clear before you start the business. Your vision should be clear in your mind. So it's similar, like it's similar in the case of research as well. Your purpose of the research should be clear. For example, uh, uh, maybe you want to research your sales trends. If my sales is falling, why is the sale falling? If a new competitor has come in, then how can I meet the challenge of that new competitor? Now, this is the management problem. It should be clear in your mind before you start the research, undertake the research. Secondly, the thing which should be clear in your mind is the research objective. Okay, tie this problem to the objective. Okay, if I reduce the price, will I be able to meet the competitor's position in the market? If I do more advertisement, what impact will that have on me vis-a-vis my competitor? So the research objective has to be really clear. And yeah, you know, obviously, as I already said, this research objective has to be linked to the basic management problem which was earlier identified. The the third thing is data collection. Now, when you're talking about data collection, as I already told you, data is an isolated piece of fact and it has to be processed in order to get information which is actionable for you. Okay, you cannot take actions on the basis of isolated pieces of fact. The truth has to be there and the whole truth has to be there. So please do keep in mind that you can get information from two sources. You can get the data from two sources. You can get data either from secondary sources or primary sources. Okay, what is a primary source? Primary source means primary research is first hand collection of data. You go into the field yourself. By the way, it's also called field research. You go into the field yourself, you do the survey yourself, you do the interview yourself. You actually go and find out and get the information yourself. If that information has not pre existed, if it has not been there before and you have dug it out from somewhere, that is primary information. But then there is some information which is some research which is already there. Okay, and there is no point in recreating the wheel. Okay, you don't recreate the wheel. If something is there, use it and then build on it. Okay, so first you do, or the process is, first you do all the review, what data is present, and then wherever there are gaps, then you fill those gaps with your own research. But please do keep in mind that the existing data has some weaknesses and has some limitations. So what do we do first? Do we do primary research first or do we do secondary research first? We do secondary research first. Why? Because the secondary research data are already there, it's already available, and it's cheap to acquire. Primary research is expensive, time consuming, as well as expensive. So, what are the sources of secondary data? Sources of secondary data are government publications first and foremost. Okay, this is a very useful. Uh, it comes in really handy. Government has. Please remember, the government is the government because it has data. It has so much data on everyone. It has so much data that it uses that data to control the entire country. So the reason that they are running the country means that they have an unlimited, potentially unlimited number of data. Now, what kind of data do we need from the government? Some of the data the government makes available. It's population related data, social data, economic data. All that data is available, and you can, most importantly, from a business's point of view, what is the expenditure trend? That is what the government lets you know. Second thing, library. Please do keep in mind the largest library in the world is the Congress Library in the United States. You can get any information from there. You can get any information from the Cambridge Library. You can get any information from Oxford Libraries. Libraries are a treasure trove of information. Some are run by the government, others are private, but they contain publications, they contain research, they contain books, everything you can get from there. Then there are trade organizations, and that's interesting. Trade organizations are I call them trade associations. Okay, trade associations because also sometimes called management associations. Now, these are organizations of managers. They are not like trade unions. Trade unions are organizations of workers. These are organizations of managers. These are organizations of people who are actually running the business. And do keep in mind, in order to run their business, they need a lot of information. So they publish that information, they share that information. Then there are market intelligence reports. There are agencies that actually keep an eye on the market and the market trends, and they issue reports. Okay, classic example one is the Euro Monitor. Okay, these provide market intelligence. Then there are newspapers. Of course, these days newspapers have also become digital. So, but you can. There are various newspapers. The Economist, the London Economist, a classic example of a source from where you can get a lot of information. The Financial Times, daily they give financial information, so you can get a lot of information on economic trends, financial trends from there. There is a saying in business: mine your own data. Mine, mine your own data. Many managers don't understand this, but the company itself is a treasure trove of data. You have a lot of data building in your own company. Mine it, dig it, use it. It's there for you. It's there so that you have your sales records, you have your uh, you have your purchasing trends, you have your research which you have done on your customer. It's all there in your company. Use it. And then a very important source, I mean, these days probably very important source, and probably the very important source uh, uh, is the internet. A lot of information is available on the internet. You can buy this information off, or you can use this information using you know there are PDF files available, and there are journals available which you can actually purchase off the internet. And then there are things like websites of government agencies, websites of the World Bank, of the IMF. You have a lot of information there which you can access on economic trends. Okay, so these are some of the things that you can do. So we have covered secondary data, and in the next video then we are going to look at the sources of primary data. Okay, thank you very much indeed.